This is a test. This is only a test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Where's your head at? Where's your heart at? Hello. How y'all doing? Today, today may be time for some soul searching here. People are not hearing me. Selfishness. Let me repeat that. Selfishness got us into this mess. Starting with claiming the wonderful blessings of God as our own, including God's energy. Anyhow, acceptance of that, selfishness, as a possibility may be the first step to your freedom. You'll have to forgive the past to move forward free of it. Now here, get this. You do not own property. I'm speaking only of Canada here, so let me qualify that. I'm talking to Canada, but you can take the same for pretty well every other country, as far as I know. Might be the odd exception. So I think there's still some free countries out there in any case. You do not own property in Canada if you are a Canadian. Same goes with most other countries. I'll repeat that. You do not own property in Canada if you are a Canadian. What you do own when you're not a Canadian is held in trust by Her Majesty the Queen, being the fruits of your labor. Your labor is your property. You ought to know that part. Webster's 1828, just a definition from that Webster's Dictionary 1828 on selfish. It's an adjective. Regarding one's own interest, chiefly or solely. Influenced in actions by a view to private advantage. That's where the soul searching part comes in here. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you here? Look, people, I cannot force it on you to get it. This is important. I can't, I'm not preaching here. I'm not imposing anything on anybody. Just put it out there. Selfishness, speaking for myself, selfishness is the root of all evil. Could it be it is the me, my house, my car, my land, my money, give me my money, that is on the evil side of the fence? That is why you're in bondage. Interesting that justice, in the name of the Queen, punishes evil doers. Punishes evil doers. Selfishness is the root of all evil. The king is doing what God said the king shall do to you if you choose to reject God as your maker, owner, ruler. Why that happened matters not. Matters not. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Bye-bye. Let it go. I have no plans to quit my day job and start a singing career, trust me. Keep in mind here, people, that a Canadian is a person, fictional being. I get it, people believe the government screwed them, but it is not so. In any event, as I said, let it go. Let it go. It's not going to get you anywhere. That thinking, hanging on to that. Do you think, just for all you to think about, God created all of this for us, for our private benefit or advantage? Let us think this through. Do you really think the government registered our estates in trust for the sole purpose to serve us as beneficiaries or for our private advantage? For what reason would the governments do that if there not be something in it for the nation? Think about that. Deductive reasoning, logic here. You gotta sit back and think about stuff. Before taking the estates in trust, we managed our own estates. In other words, we did not need a trustee. We looked after ourselves, the family, our property, and kept family business within the family. As many understand it, excuse me, they took the estates in trust to fund government, the nation. By so doing, the country, the trust/corporation, pays the bills, the debts. But, it is not going to do that if you want to own the property that belongs to the estate held in trust. And you're all doing it. There, I said it. Think about that. When you do that, claim ownership of property that's held in trust by Her Majesty the Queen, would you not then hold the property as trustee? Would it be any different for you if you acted like that in the Garden of Eden? And a trust corporation will not take care of the accounting, otherwise perform the functions of trustee, so long as you are. My house, my car, my furniture, my stuff, give me my check, I want, gimme, 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 gimme. Remember, when I was younger, we used to have this saying, gimme, gimme, never gets. Just came back to me now, actually. maybe there's a little wisdom in that statement. Anyhow, the government will not serve you if the government does not get what it needs out of this arrangement. The claims of ownership, most people have already made the claim. My house, my car, my boat, my cottage, my income, my money, my account. And where has it got you? Think it through, people. It's not part of my notes here, but you got to see this in the bigger picture, like from, God, man, whatever. And God does what he does. And if you know, the Father was the greatest act of love, if you want to put it that way. All he asked for in exchange for all of this, all these blessings, is allegiance. Just like you would with your own mother and father. Human mother and father. And then this is just another level of the same thing. So as above, so below. Actually, I got that in my notes later on here, I think. So I'll eventually get to that. Like I say, I'm not imposing anything on anybody here. This is purely for soul searching, because everybody I talk to wants something. That's right there. I'm speaking from experience. Is keeping you in bondage. It starts right there. Selfishness is the root of all evil. Maybe a good time to go sit out in the rock there. And I get people do nice things for other people, but selfishness runs very deep. It's beyond just going to your neighbor and saying, hi, how you doing, and bringing over cookies when they're not feeling well, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, that's acts of love, but that's not the kind of love I'm talking about here. Anyhow, I'm a student. My Bible for Truth and the Way is the I Am Discourses from the St. Germain Foundation in Illinois. They are the only accredited source for these dictations, these teachings. I am, get it? When Moses asked, when he's picking up the 10 Commandments there in the mountain, the flaming bush and all that sort of stuff, he asked, who are you? I am that I am. Before Abraham was, I am. I don't think people understand what the words I am mean. Anyhow, there is no religion in these teachings. And I'm speaking from my own perspective. Again, I'm not belittling anybody or trying to put myself on a pedestal here, but I will say this. Until you have read those books and listened to the hours of dictations, you've no idea of the bigger picture, what's really going on here, what nations are, or the significance of selfishness in all of this. Those dictations will blow you away. I cannot tell you how badly I want to post some of those dictations here, but I cannot because of copyright. I cannot. Oh, I so want to every time I listen to them daily. Anyhow, the copyright is enforced to maintain the teachings in their original intended condition, word for word, unlike the Bible. Yeah, there's truth in the Bible, but there's also deception in the Bible. The Bible has been manipulated. These are not, and they do enforce the copyright. There's organizations out there that have been taken to court because they started, trespassing on the copyright. Anyhow, I will say this. All the blessings God gave us are being withdrawn because of our selfishness and misuse of these blessings. It's the law. It's the law of cause and effect. Mankind reaps what he sows. What we are seeing in the world right now, as I understand it, take a look, is the effect of centuries of human selfishness. I don't care what they tell you on the idiot box. I don't care what they tell you is going on because it's Russia's fault, it's the sanctions' fault, all of this other stuff. It's us. It's us. Selfishness is the root of all evil. Wanting death and destruction and revenge is not going to solve anybody's problems. itself, that's just, you know, I won't go there. But to help put this selfishness thing in perspective in a small way. And I was, you know, and I'm not saying I'm not part of it. Still, I'm working on it, but I do recognize the legitimacy of the statement, selfishness is the root of all evil. You hear it almost daily. People claim I have human rights. I have constitutional rights. I have the right to this, that, and the other thing. The right to service. But no one speaks of the duties that go with those rights that are required to maintain those rights. Nobody. See, it's all me. One-sided. You have the right to travel so long as your driver's license is up to date. Oh, and yeah, you have God-given rights as well. Yeah. As people often proclaim, I have God-given rights, and you do. They're unalienable. Oh, yeah. No license required. But you lost those rights when you failed to uphold your duties that go with those rights to keep those rights intact. Again, me. You just turn on the TV, go on the internet, it's everybody's doing the same thing. I got rights to this. Government was created to serve us. Don't you think we got a hand in this too? Like maybe we got to do some service? My God. But yeah, so there it is. That's just a couple little examples of, you make up your own mind what that is. All one-sided. But understand this, with the rights come duties. In order to have the rights, you got to do the duties. It's right in the Immigration Act. If you want to be a Canadian, yeah, and you're swearing the oath and all this, look at the oaths you swear when you swear citizenship. I'm not saying this to do that. I'm just saying that's what people are. That's what we're talking about here. Yeah, I want the benefits that Canada has to offer, and I promise to obey the laws of Canada, for example. To uphold and obey the laws of Canada. That's the duty, right? So you want to have the right to you know, like I say, you have the right to travel so long as you maintain your driver's license is up to date. That's just an example. If it's not, well, then they're going to take away the right to drive. See? Because you didn't do the duty. Didn't keep the duty. Again, I'm not suggesting you do it to government. That's not my point. And the same thing goes with God. Yep, you have rights from God. Absolutely you do. But because we didn't do the duties, God said that. All you got to do to maintain these rights, to call it that, inalienable rights, inalienable, whatever you want to call it, dominion, the whole thing, birthright. But you got to do certain things to keep it, you see. So I said some things above there in the Garden of Eden. So you see what's going on here? Clearly, this is an expression of a general global consciousness of the people. Me, selfishness. I'm not saying this applies to everyone. I'm not being judgmental. I'm not pointing fingers. I don't even know who you are, who's watching this. So don't take it personal. This path to your freedom is not complicated. I'm not preaching, but suggest selfishness is your stumbling block. Selfishness blinds one from seeing the bigger picture, what's going on here. Who you are, what you are, why you are here in this world, your purpose, and the purpose of the person you use. Whatever your state of being is in this real world is the person's state of being in the counterfeit world. Think about it. As it is in heaven, so it is on earth. It's just accounting. It's just accounting. So I'd say it's important for people to let go of the past, whatever you think. And finally I heard someone on the TV, actually yesterday I was walking by the TV and the guy says, well, when we forgive the bad guys, I'm actually freeing myself. And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. When you're forgiving that guy there, it's to free yourself, not him. You're not responsible for him and what he's done. But you can, let go of that. A lot of people carry grief for entire lives because of something that happened, 30, 40, 50 years ago. They just won't forgive it. Let it move on. So that's why I say you have to forgive the past to move forward, free of it. And so back to, like I say, I get it. It's easy to, government this, government that, government this, government that. First off, your father has the duty, according to the law. Now, when I say the law, I'm talking about the laws of God in the Bible. They're not written anywhere else but in the Bible. First 5 books of the Bible. That's the law. And God stated that it's the duty of your father, your mom and dad, but it's the father's duty to teach the children the laws of God. Your dad didn't do that. So is that government's fault now that you entered into this world that had your dad? I'm not, it's not to do with blame here. Just, it is what it is. So is it the government's fault that your dad didn't do that, or that you entered into this fictional world? So if you want to point fingers over there, you can point fingers over there, or you can just say, you know what, it is what it is. Let go of the anger. Let go of the fear. Let go of the desire for revenge. They're going to hang the pricks, so yeah, we got to shoot them. They're also children of God, maybe lost wayward, maybe with all this selfishness. Who here is so righteous enough that he can say that all the others got it wrong? I met some of those people. I said, you should write a book. Yeah. How everyone should be according to Steve or Mary, these people. But love them anyhow. So, no, it's not the government. It's not, if you sit back and think about it and just take off that nonsense out of your way. Yeah, they. See it for what it is. Accept it. Let it go. Let it go. And then look at the concept of selfishness. The estate is held in trust. The estate is the owner of the property. So surely you can see when you claim to own the property, and right now you're recognized as the owner of the property. That's why you're paying the bills, right? You actually, a lot of people still believe they own the property. But so you're claiming to own property that someone else holds in trust. So all you're doing there is you're taking on the duty of holding the property in trust. That's it, as trustee. He's taking on the duty of trustee. And the only thing that got you there was, knowingly or unknowingly, selfishness. Making something yours that's not yours. And then the bigger picture, everything belongs to God. Everything. Who here made himself? No, I get the abortion thing, that, and this is no disrespect to women. You don't own your body. You're not self-made. You don't own your body. Sorry, but you don't own your body. No, you don't. I don't own my body either. It's my body that belongs to God. Everything I have belongs to God. So whenever I say my, that means mine that belongs to God. But in this world, it's mine, meaning not yours. But it's not an ownership mine. Or I know that. Now, however, if I was talking to somebody and that kind of stuff was to come up, I would qualify that properly so they don't walk away thinking he said mine, meaning he thinks he owns it. No. I'm aware of the deceptions. That's why you walk into court, first thing you do is walk up to the judge. Good morning, your owner. Property, the ownership of the property is in the name of the estate, and the estate is held in trust by Her Majesty. Judges represents Her Majesty, so good morning, your owner. So, yeah. And, I talk to people who got the Reclaim Your Securities package. Every now and again, I'll send out an email to somebody, or I'll reply to an email. I'll ask them, why are you doing this? What are you looking for? What do you want out of this? And everybody, so far, it's all me. It's just selfish-backed activity. But that's exactly what got us in the problem in the first place. That's just maintaining the status quo. Seriously. So if you want to get the monkey off your back, it's got to start with letting go of the concept that you own stuff, anything. Other than your labor, that's yours. That's yours. And that's getting into the system, into the trust, through that person you use. But if you appear in person or as the person, well, like if that you are the person, then you're a Canadian or a person, and you don't own any property anywhere, nothing. No, you're like a child in a family. Mom and dad do all the work, and they feed you, not the other way around. What do you bring into the table? Except shitty diapers. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. It is what it is. So really, people, sit back and think about things. Just, this for me, this kind of thing has to come from within. It's not something you read. Yeah, you can read about it in a book, but you got to sit back and think on it and ponder on it, and something's got to grow from within to get it, to see it. Whatever that is for people, and everyone's different, I'm sure. I don't know what's going on inside you. I can only speak for myself. So, yep, selfishness is the root of all evil. The Queen, justice in all the Commonwealth countries, according to her coronation oath, is to punish evildoers. The Queen's doing what God said the Queen would do. And if selfishness is the root of all evil, then everything that's happening to everybody, is because they're selfish. That's why they're in that world in the first place. That's what's got them locked into that world in the first place. Now they're subject to, traffic and violations, provincial offenses, criminal offenses, civil claims, charges, loans, mortgages, all that sort of stuff. It's just gone into basically hell. Hell here on earth. And I just challenge you to sit back and think about this, that yes, selfishness got me into this mess. It's everything that I'm doing. Not everything, but the general overall consensus, consciousness, whatever, within, one way or another, there's some selfishness in there, and that's what's drawn in the burdens. Now, if you let go of that, and I saw a movie once a long time ago, and it basically says a good king is a good leader, is a good servant. There's nothing about me. God bless you. Love you. Light of God never fails. It is not possible. Whatever the dark thinks it's going to get away with, it ain't going to happen. The light won't allow it. God's government, he has a government. You don't see them, but they're here. Isn't going to allow it to happen in God's kingdom. Who do you think's in charge here? Who the heck do you think's at the helm here? Seriously. God bless. Love you. And one last thing here. Right now, I know I've mentioned this in previous videos. Your income taxes doesn't have anything. All that income tax collected has nothing to do with infrastructure. Zero. With your medical, highways, byways, and none of that. Maintaining this, maintaining that, none of that. It pays the interest to the bondholders. This is bondholders are the ones the government's borrowing the money. The federal government's borrowing the money from to fund the situation. Is it possible that that's happening or being perpetuated because of our selfishness? What I mean by that, is it possible that when we let go of the selfishness, remember what I just said, there's no way anybody's going to take something into trust for the sake of taking something into trust so they can be our trustees for this and serve us for our exclusive benefit private private advantage. We were doing that ourselves the day before. It makes no sense. Just makes no sense. So clearly they need something out of this, and it's funding. What else is there? So is it possible that our selfishness, is the withholding of that funding? So now they got to go elsewhere, or they can't tell the banker to screw off because no, we got the people with us now. Yep. They're providing the funding. We don't need to borrow it from you. They're providing the funding. Said it's all accounting. Yeah, the government did what they did, but there's something in it for them. But you see, so when you all want, I want this, I want that, I want, it's just like in the Garden of Eden. It's like it's tearing it apart. All these, whatever was in the Garden of Eden, everybody wanted to start claiming ownership. See what's going to happen here? Eventually, there's just dirt. Everybody's got a pile of stuff. And it's just torn apart. Same thing here in the financial system, this earthly system. And we want mine. So it's tearing it apart. So if that be the case, we got to go to third-party lenders here. And maybe they started that third-party lending thing, because of the Federal Reserve Act before they took our states into trust. Matters not, and probably they did, but that doesn't matter. It's our selfishness it's blocking the funding that the government requires that eventually they can tell the bankers to take a hike. That's another consequence of our selfishness. Love you. God bless. Yes, one more thing here. This is main page to our blog, Restore the Kingdom of God. You'll find a link to this under every single solitary video on our YouTube channel, our BitChute channel, and our Bradeon channel. Bring you right here. Once you're here, you'll see that there's 3 click here buttons. I am stunned how many people come here and do not click on these buttons. So, sample of information. There's information in here. You'll find a sample of the information with respect to the 600 plus pages of Reclaim Your Securities Yahoo posts that comes with our package. This is a little sample of that information. Here at the must read button, you just got to push the button to click on it. Like it says, click here. And you'll find information about our information package there. Next one down is the Uniform Securitization Scheme. I've mentioned this many times in videos, but this is the basis. This is when the government's, that what's going on there when the government registered the birth for purposes of funding government. Again, you can see that was done for you or against you, or for the better of all or against you. You can propose that selfishness is the root of our problems, evil. So that's what you get there. So 3 buttons, you have to click on those. Again, I can't believe how many people don't do that. Leave no stone unturned, right? When I go to a website, I click on everything. I go to the YouTube channel, I click on everything. I click on the show more so I can see what's down there. You never know. Anyhow, scroll past more blurbage, and you got the link to our YouTube channel, BitChute and Bredion. And here's a contact us button. You click on that, put in your email address. Make sure you put your email address in correctly. Quite a few people don't, or some people don't. And that's how you can request the payment information, which I will send to you, or someone will send it to you via email. So, that's it. Just wanted you to see that. So when you come here, more information right here. Great. God bless. Love you. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.